Are your daily money habits silently keeping you broke? It's a tough question, but one we all need to ask. Most people don't realize that the small choices they make every single day are the very things destroying their chances at financial freedom. Think about it. Every day, you make decisions that seem tiny and insignificant in the moment. Grabbing that extra coffee, subscribing to another streaming service you barely use, buying the latest gadget just because it's new. On their own, they're just small choices. But over months, and then years, they pile up. These habits are like invisible chains holding you back from the life you truly want to live. Buying things you don't need, ignoring the power of investing, and immediately spending every raise you get. These are the classic traps. But it's not just about what you do. It's also about what you don't do. Not having a plan, not tracking your money, not building a safety net. These are the silent wealth killers. So many people are stuck in a cycle, wondering why they can't get ahead, why they feel like they're running on a treadmill. It's because the system is designed to keep you spending, and our habits often fall right in line with that. Today, we're going to break down the 5 most common money habits that keep people broke, and more importantly, how you can start changing them today to build real, lasting wealth. Let's get into it. The first, and perhaps most common, habit that keeps people in a financial prison is what's known as lifestyle inflation. You know how it goes. You get a promotion, a raise, or a bonus at work. Finally, you think, I have more money. But what happens next? Almost instantly, your spending rises to meet that new income. A bigger apartment, a fancier car, more expensive vacations, dining out at pricier restaurants. The more you make, the more you spend. This is a trap because you never actually get ahead. Your savings rate stays the same, or worse, it goes down. You're working harder, earning more, but your financial situation hasn't fundamentally improved. You're just living a more expensive version of the same paycheck-to-paycheck life. The key isn't to never enjoy your money, but to be intentional. When your income increases, the first thing you should do is decide how much of that extra income will go towards your freedom goals like investing, paying down debt, or building savings before you even think about upgrading your lifestyle. The second destructive habit is completely avoiding investments. So many people believe that the safest place for their money is in a savings account at the bank. It feels secure, right? You can see the balance. It doesn't go down unless you spend it. But here's the hard truth. Money sitting in a bank account is losing value every single day. The culprit: inflation. If inflation is at 3% and your savings account is paying you 0.5%, you are effectively losing 2.5% of your purchasing power every single year. Your money will buy you less and less over time. Keeping all your cash in the bank isn't playing it safe. It's a guaranteed way to lose in the long run. Investing, on the other hand, allows your money to work for you. It lets your wealth grow faster than inflation, building real value over time through the power of compounding. Avoiding investments out of fear or lack of knowledge is like choosing to walk everywhere when you have a car waiting for you. It's slow, inefficient, and you'll never reach your destination as quickly. Now, let's talk about the third habit: not tracking your money. If I asked you right now, where did every dollar you earned last month go? Could you tell me? For most people, the answer is a vague, well, rent, bills, some groceries. And the rest? I don't know. It just disappeared. This is what I call financial black hole syndrome. When you don't track your money, you have absolutely no control over it. You can't make smart decisions because you don't have the data. It's like trying to lose weight without ever stepping on a scale or tracking your calories. How would you know what's working? Tracking your spending isn't about restricting yourself or feeling guilty about every purchase. It's about awareness. It's about gaining clarity on where your hard-earned money is actually going. Once you know that, you can align your spending with your values and your goals. You might be shocked to find out how much you're re-spending on subscriptions you forgot you had, or on impulse buys that you didn't even want a week later. Knowledge is power, and in personal finance, knowing your numbers is the first step to taking back control. This leads us directly to the fourth habit: living paycheck to paycheck. This is a state of constant financial stress. You're always just one unexpected expense away from a crisis. A car repair, a medical bill, or a broken appliance can throw your entire world into chaos. When you're living on the edge like this, you have no buffer, no breathing room, and therefore no freedom. You can't quit a job you hate. You can't take a risk on a new business idea. You can't take time off to deal with a family emergency without panicking about money. You are completely tied to your next paycheck. This isn't a life of freedom. It's a life of servitude to your bills. Breaking this cycle requires building an emergency funder buffer of at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Having that cash reserve is the ultimate stress reducer. It gives you options. It gives you the power to say no. It's the foundation upon which all other financial progress is built. And finally, the fifth habit that keeps people broke is blindly following outdated or just plain wrong financial myths. We hear them all the time. Things like, all debt is bad debt, or you need to save your way to wealth, or even investing is just like gambling. These myths are dangerous because they sound like good advice, but they're often oversimplified or completely incorrect. For example, not all debt is bad. Using a smart loan to buy a cash-flowing rental property can make you wealthy. A mortgage on a home can be a great investment. The idea that you can save your way to millions is also a fantasy for most people. As we discussed, savings lose value to inflation. Real wealth is built through investing and ownership, not just hoarding cash. And treating investing like gambling shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how it works. Sure, you can gamble in the stock market, but true investing is about buying pieces of great businesses and holding them for the long term. It's about calculated risk, not rolling the dice. To build wealth, you have to unlearn these myths and learn the real rules of money. Let me tell you a quick story about two friends, Mark and Lisa. Both started their careers around the same time, earning similar salaries. Mark heard all the typical financial advice, but chose to ignore it. He lived for the moment. Every raise he got went towards a nicer car or more expensive clothes. He kept all his extra cash in a savings account, thinking it was safe. He never tracked his spending and just hoped there was enough money at the end of the month. Lisa, on the other hand, decided to take a different path. She started applying the principles we've been talking about. She diligently tracked her spending using a simple app. She automated a portion of every paycheck to go directly into a low-cost index fund. When she got a raise, she celebrated with a nice dinner, but then allocated 50% of that new income towards her investments. She even started a small side business on weekends to build another income stream. Fast forward 10 years. Where are they now? Mark is still in the same cycle. He's earning more, but he's also spending more. He feels like he's working harder than ever, but has nothing to show for it. He's still completely dependent on his job and his next paycheck. Lisa, however, is in a completely different world. Her investments have grown significantly thanks to the power of compounding. Her side business now generates a nice stream of passive income every month. She owns assets that work for her, so she doesn't have to. She has the freedom to choose. She could take a year off to travel, switch careers, or even retire early if she wanted to. Mark still works for money, but Lisa's money now works for her. That's the difference that changing these habits can make. So, how do you go from being Mark to being Lisa? It can feel overwhelming. I get it. The key is to not try to change everything at once. Pick one habit and focus on it for the next 30 days. Just one. Maybe you start by simply tracking your spending. No judgment, just track it. Or maybe you decide to automate just $50 a month into an investment account. Start small. The goal is to build momentum. Once that first habit becomes automatic, move on to the next. Focus on these core pillars. First, track your spending to gain awareness. Second, start investing regularly, even if it's a small amount. Third, consciously avoid lifestyle inflation when your income grows. Fourth, start thinking about how you can build multiple streams of income. And fifth, commit to learning the real rules of money by reading books and following trusted financial educators. If you adopt these habits one by one, your journey to financial freedom will accelerate faster than you can imagine. The sad reality is that most people will never change these habits. They will stay stuck in the same cycle for their entire lives, always wondering why financial security seems out of reach. But you are not most people. The fact that you're watching this video proves you want something different. The power to change your financial future is in your hands, and it starts today. It starts with the very next dollar you earn. If you make the decision to change, your future self will look back and thank you profoundly. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building real wealth. And don't miss our next video where we dive into the 3 powerful mindset shifts that truly separate millionaires from everyone else. See you there.